Guys, as you know, early this morning, a bus accident in the Lincoln Tunnel locked up traffic for hours. We've got Chaser team coverage starting with, hey, that was an alert. Perfect timing. We've got Chaser team coverage starting with the work that our desk did, pulling off stuff from the absolute explosion on social media. We've got Sabeel on the Jersey side. But Tara, I want to start with you. You are at the Lincoln Tunnel. What do you got?
Now, an accident occurred around 9:35 a.m. between two buses. One of those buses was a New Jersey Transit bus, Route 166 from Cresthill, as a lot of these transit buses you will now see that are coming through behind me do. We don't know if it was rear-ended or exactly what happened, but it collided paths briefly with a bus that was carrying around 26 students from Canada on a bus that says Griffins on it. Behind me, I saw those students get off the bus. I'm happy to report that they are all accounted for and okay. I actually saw a couple of them gleefully skipping with their backpacks on. You can see that bus right over my left-hand shoulder, Bill. It is the black and red and yellow bus that says Griffins on it. That was carrying the Canadian students. Now, this has become quite a media circus. As I spin around, you can see there's a press conference going on over my left-hand shoulder. I am on my own chasing island right here in the middle of the tubes that are coming out. People were on the site Banjo. They went to Twitter. People were pissed, and rightfully so. And to be honest with you, Bill, as a New Yorker down here right now, as a media person, it didn't seem like they knew what they were doing. It seemed like there were people everywhere. The one thing I do have to give credit to the Port Authority for is that there were a lot of ambulances down here, and thankfully a lot of stretchers that came out empty. So they were really well prepared when it came to ambulances. When it came to traffic and getting people out of here in a timely manner, unfortunately, it didn't seem like that was the case, and people down here are understandably upset. There was, from early reports, a pregnant woman on board the New Jersey Transit Route 166 bus, and they did do a swift job of getting her off the bus.
So speaking of social media and that explosion, what did you guys come up with? What did you see this morning?
There was so much going on social media, Bill. Obviously, people tweeting from in the tunnels. This one actually showed the traffic slowly backing out of the tunnel. We were actually ended up finding out that there were actually 2 pregnant women treated for injuries. So it's honestly, social media is where you were getting all of the coverage. Then we have people actually getting out of the tunnel saying light at the end of the tunnel. And then you're getting the aftermath as well, seeing a lot of tweets aftermath of Lincoln Tunnel when people are finally walking out, lots of stretchers being pulled out, a lot of people tweeting finally out of the Lincoln Tunnel, hope all people involved in the accident recover. So really, I mean, this just shows you the power of social media and how quickly people are able to respond.
Jessica, didn't somebody have a picture of being stuck at the border?
Yes, I actually spoke to Christina Santiago. She was one bus behind the 2 buses that collided. So she said it was filled with smoke and they were hard to see because the buses were so high. That charter bus was pretty high up. So I was able to tweet with everyone inside the Lincoln Tunnel. Tara showed you the bus coming outside on the New York side, and this is the NJ Transit bus coming out on the Jersey side.
Michael, you talked to somebody.
I did. I actually spoke to Uber driver Adam Levicki, who is a couple of cars behind where the accident happened.
We see fire people running through the tunnel a little bit, like maybe an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes into it. And there was a woman actually in labor. So it was pretty wild.
All right, thanks, Tara. We're going to go to Sabeel now. Sabeel, you are on the Jersey side.
So I'm here on the New Jersey side, and there's been a lot of delays on this end. There's been delays in Secaucus. There have been delays on Route 3 and also on the Turnpike. Now, for a little bit of historical context, there are 42 million cars that go through the Lincoln Tunnel every single year. But for some reason, the center tube, which is where this accident happened this morning, seems to be the location for terrible, crazy accidents. Just a year ago, there was a red BMW. The driver just sped into the Lincoln Tunnel, hit a Mercedes van, which then hit a minibus, and a person died. And 4 years ago, in that same place, there was another major accident, 27 people injured, and that involved 3 buses and a motorcycle. So there's definitely history here, the Lincoln Tunnel, of these terrible, terrible accidents causing delays for commuters. For people who commute through the Lincoln Tunnel every single day, speak to any of them, those guys are warriors. Even if there isn't a major accident, there's often major delays.
The rules in the Lincoln Tunnel are pretty clear, with the posted speed limits, with the no passing, etc. And, you know, was there anything like that? Is there any information coming out of the Port Authority?
That's all the Port Authority has been releasing so far. I've been calling them, I've been asking for more information. But that's all they've been giving.
So we've heard suggestions in terms of moving the Port Authority bus terminal to the Meadowlands, maybe a dedicated tunnel. In your opinion, you've covered this. You've been the Chasing News road warrior for a while now, Sabeel. Do you think any of these conversations are now going to start again on the heels of this accident?
Bill, to be perfectly honest, I don't know that a dedicated bus lane would have made any difference because it was two buses that were involved in this accident. So whether they were in a bus dedicated lane or another lane, I mean, it's the same difference.
These tunnels were built over a half century ago. I mean, let's talk about new infrastructure at this point. We've got huge buses cramming into a tiny tunnel. It's only a matter of time before there's accidents.
All things considered, no one was killed and traffic was back flowing in a couple hours.